They managed to find a bag of sweets in our office. And they're not allowed to be in the office, of course, but and in the middle of the night they actually went into the office. I think there's quite a dynamic between twins, and I'm sure especially boys, and they raided this bag of sweets and stuffed it in any place they could, their school bag, their beds, under their pillows. And I think when Rob's phoned me the next morning on the way to dropping them at school, we really laughed. And we
there
kind
was
of
chocolate everywhere. They didn't wake up. They're normally like early risers. By 6 o'clock they're knocking on my door, and this morning I think they were probably drunk on sugar, because I eventually went into their room at 7 o'clock to see what was going on, and there was chocolate everywhere. Like they had flattened this packet
Easter
of
eggs from a few months back. We were very relieved they were going to school and they were going to get rid of their sugar there and not here.
And within a couple of weeks of being here, they realized, because they're little when they arrived, they realized that if one curled up into a ball and the other one stood on top of him, that they could open the fridge. So they had access. So they definitely keep us busy, and you've got to think ahead, which you can never outsmart twins. It started with a conversation, and it's resulted in an amazing house.
I think there's just such an incredible energy in this home, and every time you're here and you spend time here, you just realize and know without a shadow of a doubt why you're doing this and why you're going to continue to just grow this project and just make a difference.
I think the thing that's from the beginning, which was amazing for me, is to sit with Candice and share my vision with her, and her just being willing to walk with me 100%. I knew with all my being that what I wanted to do is to make sure that, as far as I could, improve the situation for our children. Impilo do the matching process. They screen adoptive parents, and also to screen when biological parents have the ability to reunite with the children. They do the screening, and then we do the bonding in our house. And to just watch these adults who have actually had to work so hard to either get their children back or to adopt a child. I've been through the adoption process, and it does feel that you're being scrutinized, and then other people just have babies without any permission from anyone. So by the time it gets to that point, it's quite an incredible relationship to watch formulating.
We've also experienced a lot of people wanting to bring their children into the home and wanting them to play with the toddlers and to just give a little bit of their time as well, which is also a very, very important lesson to teach our young ones.
Yeah, we've connected with the high schools in our area, and we let the high school students come and do community service here. We encourage the community to be a part of what we are doing, because that's how we are strongest. If you just take what you're really good at and you make that your contribution, and if everyone's just doing their little bit, then I really believe that the 3.5 million children currently can be well taken care of. If we can only reach a small group of children and make a fundamental change in their life, then hopefully that will just ripple through. I'm under no illusion that I can heal all the children in South Africa. The two things I can do is I can do what I'm doing well with the children who come into my home, and the other thing is I can inspire other adults, and we have a lot of high school children come in and assist in, and really promoting it to them as a career, because it is a worthy career to do. You don't have to be broken and in the gutter yourself. You don't have to be a martyr. You don't have to go without. If you work with charity, you can still have dignity, and you can teach your children dignity, and you can teach them to enjoy pleasure and to ask for things in life. And in our founding documents, we made sure that we had certain chapters from the New Companies Act which hold us incredibly responsible for every single cent or item that comes into this house. We do fundraising. We are creating a retail aspect in that we are going to start marketing our own bibs, the baby house bibs, which we think are going to be quite trendy and funky, and hopefully be a source of support. We had a little one who arrived here and who was abandoned, malnourished, dehydrated, wasn't even strong enough to climb up 2 stairs. Although this child was about 16 months, I should have been able to do those things. Because I was the one that had collected her, she was fine with me, but absolutely terrified of everyone else. Within a couple of weeks, seeing her just begin to blossom. And children who have come from a violent or neglect or abandoned environment, they come in and they're very meek, and they're a little bit like law-abiding in a way, a little bit withdrawn. So that's actually quite an incredible moment when they start telling you what's what and how things will be done. It's the moments which I don't think anyone really gets to see but me, where you just notice that, like, you just see that this child has come so far, and they are sharing a part of them with you, and I'm very grateful that I can be that person. What needs to happen first with the kids? The power of affection, the power of communication, that one-on-one time with your children, letting them know that they are individuals, that they are powerful, that it's actually from that an adult can make a significant change in the world. Our staff are incredibly well trained. All of us are professional in what we are doing, and we've got many years experience.
Everything just happens exactly, you know, how it always does, and that's really remarkable that we've just got such incredible women running this home with us, and like Robin has said, just loving the children, which really I think makes us very happy.
One of our 3.5-year-old little ones, someone in his class said to him, "You don't have a mommy," and he turned around and he's like, "I've 4 mommies." I mean, it's very helpful that I live here.
Absolutely.
Because there is a sense that there's someone in charge, and you know, you don't mess with a woman and her children. So, and in the 18 months before we even opened the home to children, we collected all the resources, all the equipment, which is a lot. Babies don't travel light. We actually ended up accumulating so much that we've been able to pass on lots of equipment to other charities. We're in an incredible space of gratitude always for what is given to us. We are definitely one of the homes who believe in saying thank you. Well, at the moment, because we've done such an incredible job in sourcing everything that isn't financial, our needs are financial. Unfortunately, I can't pay my staff in groceries at the end of the month. It's good for our staff members to be paid and to be paid well. Like any other home, we need to cover water and electricity, rent. Financial sponsorship is definitely what we need most now. Statistically, obviously, HIV/AIDS goes along with abandonment and abuse, and with the help of nevirapine, which is an expense to us, the majority of our children, as long as we are able to detect it. I think, you know, when I say there's going to be 8 million children who grow up with no homes, everyone, it's such an automatic response to go into fear. But as long as people can bear in mind that, you know, if everyone does one thing every single day to contribute towards the problem, whether it's little or whether it's big, the compound of that is actually what is going to affect our children, and it's going to affect us.
I think something Robin and I have also really strive for is, you know, to change the sense that people feel sorry for these children, and to actually just make them feel as if they're a part of being a child in that beautiful process, and just showing them the love and the fun. And you know, we really have felt that in our home. It's not a home where you feel sorry for anyone. You just actually are there to love and nurture and just experience life together.
You know, like in any other family, we give them choice. What would they like for breakfast? What do they want to wear? which activity they would like to do, to really enhance that sense of them being individual and being allowed to be individual, and that's something that's actually beautiful about them.
We've also been able to secure play therapy, which I think is very necessary from, a lot of the trauma that they've experienced, as well as occupational therapy. And we've got somebody who comes to our home once a week and gives all of that.
They also do enjoy a little bit of Barney. Our boys, although they have 2 beds, our boys love to sleep in the same bed. This is our office, which is often a storeroom. This is Mama Rob's bed, which is where, if anyone's battling to sleep, they come and sleep with me. And then of course our library.
Ke kgethile ona because ke rata bana haholo, and ke tshaba ga ke na le bona, and ke mo ba o mongwe wa di-panels tsa bona, and ke a itshabela ntho ke dira. Ra ba hlapisha, ra ba jesha, like ge ba lwala re gona for bona, a lla like ke gona go yena go mahaka. Like I can do it for the rest of my life because I love it with all my heart.